Tell me why.
Yeah. Yeah. So why do we think?
It brings back Rahul's question of scale.
Yeah.
You know that when you say blood-brain barrier, we all swarm. Paint factory in China.
It's also a perception that the third world is the one that takes on the risk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the science fiction catastrophe also gets us because it's all of us.
Yeah.
And the subject is all humanity. So it's kind of a different.
But how is China? Sorry.
Kevin, you had a question?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to cut off the conversation. I just had a far more practical question. It seems that the entire nanotechnology project in the U.S. has been framed, as a lot of scientific projects are framed, as in terms of a huge financial risk, to begin with. And I was just wondering, with all the financial speculation, just practically, is there a lot of anxiety that there hasn't been a boom moment, that all this risk has not perceptively created a reward yet?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, because this was founded in 2000, began at the big nano centers, the nanoscale science and engineering centers, of which we are one, but we're the first ones. The first class was founded in 2001, and so this year they've been doing all the 10-year anniversary, because they're trying to they want another line item authorization because all these things that they promised have not come to bear. I mean, most of them, the most exciting, big impact kinds of applications have not yet emerged from the lab. And so, yes, they've gone around trying to document all the great things that this has produced, and all of us who have funding, been asked to produce all the evidence of our outputs. So I'm, about every week I get an email asking them to send them my inventions, and so
Discovery of ambivalence.
Discovery of ambivalence, yes. Rediscovery of ambivalence.
We're all about the risk, but one medical breakthrough that would sort of concentrate people's minds in the opposite direction would be a complete godsend, right?
Well, there are a huge number of promising applications. So, and I mean, some of them are, promising on the global equity level, and there is work about trying to create a commons. Nano permeable water membranes for water filtration are extremely promising technology, and if you could make clean, cheap water out of.
I thought maybe Kevin was asking you if we should buy stocks.
The failure rate. So the failure rate for new. Most of this is happening in small startups, small spin-offs. The failure rate for those is extremely high under the best of circumstances. The failure rate during the last 3 years has been hideous. All of this extremely hard to track. So this is something Chris Newfield is trying to track in his work, and it's all proprietary information. We have a terrible time gaining real understanding of that. But the failure rate is something like, it's something like 70 to 90% over a 10-year period normally. And in this case, the venture capital has really dried up because they all lost a lot of money. And so, yes, there is a problem. On the other hand, there is, it's still happening, and it's still primarily happening in those small startups. I mean, some of these are they're really interesting. They're under 20 people firms. Some of them starting literally in garages. And some of them can't start that way because they need really high-end instrumentation, but a lot of this technology can be produced as garage economy, and so it's a the most distributed globally production system probably ever in this stuff. So whether you should invest in this, I don't know. So the places where solar energy, there's a lot of, so Chris is actually doing he's consolidating his work and doing a project on solar. Nano solar energy, and we have some of that on this campus. Very, very promising, but then there's this competing risk discourse, which is about, so the very promising solar energy depends on materials like quantum dots, which start out with, they're made out of an extremely toxic substance, and then who knows what that extremely toxic substance does when it's on a nano scale. So the EHS risk issue is also burbling there as a big potential
And it's on campus.
issue.
On
And
campus.
it's on our campus.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Very well.